It's been 2 years. 2 years since I did that video, since I stopped playing FlyFF under Webzen. I do occasionally pop in there every 6 months or so, just to scope out their game development, to see if they've done anything new, and no improvement. So, I mean, really, I've only gone on there like 2 or 3 times in the last 2 years. My god, my hair was so much shorter, look at that. Oh man, I kinda miss my old look a little bit. Fortunately, I'm not with the girl that was in this video anymore, and I am not with the reviewer who was there, who was also a friend of mine. We kinda, like, had a disagreement about something, we just stopped being friends. But, let me move on to the video here, so I can, explain a little further as to who I am. I'm Maris. I am the 15 trillion penya man on Lankin, who is now banned. But I still have my account. I'm in the top 30 currently in the ranking online, so hope to figure out if anybody can discover which, you know, character name I go under. Anyway, have fun and enjoy my video. 2 years passed. Same shit happened. The same exact shit that I knew was gonna happen to FlyFF happened. I called dungeons being reworked and being made harder. I called that, and it happened. Nothing's changed. 2 years, nothing's changed. Although what has changed is I've gotten longer hair, I've officially, you know, documented Memetroll as my own patent, and I completely own the rights to it. Change of woman, you know, more beautiful, more nicer. Not much change. The last time I had on here with me was a representative who wrote for MMORPG. I'm not going to discuss his name. I'm not going to release any details of who he is. All you need to know is he wrote a review, and it was paid for by Webzen. It was a false review. They then, after 2 years, got revoked. I don't know what happened, though, but MMORPG apparently revoked their review. The score. I reported it to Google, and so did they, and Google removed, if you search FlyFF on Google, they don't show the MMO rating anymore from MMORPG. What they actually show now is, I just found this out on the spot, it's Common Sense Media, 3 out of 5. That review was when G-Potato owned it, not Webzen. I'd give it a 3 out of 5 if it was back in the day with G-Potato, not with Webzen. I'd give it maybe a 1.3 out of 5 at best. The actual user review for MMORPG, I believe, is 5.3. But I'll double check it right now, just to be sure. MMORPG FlyFF. I believe the review is more like copper, what was stated. Let's see here. 5.9, okay, I was wrong. So the original average user rating was 7.4. MMO's score is actually 5.9. User reviews are reviews that are falsified or, you know, nostalgia. Reviews that are from G-Potato, not when Webzen owned it. Good job. So, nothing much has changed. So I just want to go over some facts here. Mars Mine, that being changed. Why? Officially, in March 2016, I quit the game. I went to RuneScape. I said, fuck your company. I will never play a game under your company. Your stocks were 23,300 Korean wongs. Today, it's 28,600 Korean wongs. But you dropped all the way down to 13,000 because of me. That's pretty fucking bad. The only reason you guys shot up, and it was an attempt, it was a PR attempt. If you don't know what a PR means, if you're just a FlyFFer, you don't know what a PR means at all. It's public relations. This is just a PR move where you guys said, oh, okay, everybody's using Discord, and our staff uses TeamSpeak. You know, let's get everybody in a Discord. Try to save our community of what's left. And you guys launched your Discord group, officially releasing it. It's on the news page here. It's for September 5th of 2017. And if you look at the stock exchange, September 2017, you guys shot up from 20 Korean wongs all the way to 39,000. 28K to 39K. And then you dropped in December. The reason you dropped in December was because you asked users to set up their permissions in your Discord channel. And were saying that you were going to reward them with items. And then you turned around and you banned them. After they did it. Why? No? You're just not going to say anything? Did that make any fucking sense? You couldn't do your own permissions? I love how Piccolo calls himself a programmer. Let me talk about Piccolo here. It's been 2 years. I don't really give a shit about the dude. I've sold 15,000 trillion penya. I sold a bunch of webcoin. I got out of the game. I'm done. But hey, you never banned my account. My account's still unbanned. My main account. You only banned my very first account that I ever played the game on. That account, I just went around styling. That account was form banned, and it was banned by Memetroll for reasons I'm not even gonna say. Several reasons that are bullshit. All because I petitioned and he didn't like it, and the fact that I was kind of leading the community on better than he possibly fucking could at his desk. So, they don't really like that, so I was banned. I was sent threatening emails through inbox. My account's permanently banned, so I can't even see my inbox on Webzen. They've banned my IP for where I live here in this house. I have a VPN. I've been constantly using it. Since Webzen bought the game, I never played with my actual IP. Every account that I made up to that point was on a VPN, so Webzen could never figure out what account I actually own. I will say this, I'm in the top 30 ranking right now on the main site. That's your only hint. Out of 1 in 30 players out of all 100 servers, or out of the top 100, I'm sorry, out of all the servers across the game, I'm one of them. I'm on Lincoln, so that narrows down your search to maybe a dozen people at best, maybe half a dozen. Maybe you'll ban me, who knows? This'll be fun, right? This is a guessing game now, Piccolo, because you wanted to start shit with me for banning me without a reason. You didn't even specify anything. I just went on one day and was banned. And that's when I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. I cashed out. And then your company dropped. You didn't want to take responsibility for that. You didn't want to take responsibility for Memetroll's fuck up with, you know, the flirting of girls like Sherry and Yoko and all them fucking dumb bitches. And Scarlet. And you don't want to take... You just hire in 2 new fucking kids from Twitch and say, okay, they're the new community managers. Great. It's perfect. Do you know how much sense that makes? Nothing new has been added to the game. I've played the Mars Mine dungeon. The recent one. It's trash. All you did was remove the old mobs and give starting players no chance to be able to have fun. You have a starting area. You start out over in the town. You meet a couple friends. You fight through a whole bunch of shit. You get over to the dungeon. And now the dungeon's impossible. And the player doesn't even know if they're supposed to teleport somewhere or go somewhere or what. Because they're going to be level 20 trying to kill level 150. Why? What fucking sense of balance is that? And then they gotta find out that, oh, from another player who's probably more experienced, oh, I need to get some teleport scroll over back at the town, so I gotta walk all the way the frig back, or get a board and fly back, get a scroll, go to the next island, do the same thing, and only encounter that the dungeon there, when you get to 40, after grinding from 20 to 40 in the same morning, oh, you go all the way down, go through all that stuff, and just keep fighting, and then when you get to the Avilis dungeon, you gotta be like 40 to 70 to kill anything. Why? You're only catering to the nostalgia players. The players that are still left. Fine, fair enough. Fair enough. But when you can't get down the formula right, your stocks drop. The only creature I thought was interesting in the entire game was probably the Vice creature, the worm creature with tits hanging out. A little too revealing for me, right? You think a creature with tits, you know, with Edward Scissorhands showing out is kind of appropriate for a game. I mean, if we're going to talk about appropriateness, you know, those Yang Yang cats or whatever the fuck the things are, catwalk. I think the game should be rated E+10, maybe teen. she's played it as well. It's actually, funny enough, that's how I met her about a year and a half ago when I was playing on my non-banned main account, Piccolo. Thanks for not banning me, by the way, because you're a fucking idiot. I met her, and then we started talking every day, and eventually she moved over here and started being with her. And everything's fine now, and we don't play the game much anymore. I play the game maybe one time out of 6 months, right?
Something like that.
Something like I'll go on play for like 30 minutes to see what's new. Not much. I mean, when you guys first removed, this is my speculation. When you guys first removed trading, you made Darkon completely irrelevant because there's no hangout point for people anymore. There's no environmental feel for the players that you want to house anymore because you've gotten rid of it. When you brought it back, I don't know how relevant it is anymore, but it probably isn't. Shop prices are probably inflated. I haven't bothered to look at shop prices, or I haven't bothered to try grinding. Funny enough, I actually helped her get through Shadow War dungeons and stuff like that, and just kill a basilisk. It was alright. I mean, her gear was kind of trash, but I bought you gear, right? The soul linked crap. It could have used a little more stat awakens, but it was still trash. Philippines FlyFF was much more better back when there was like tournaments and stuff like that. Here's my speculation for Turning Point 3, which will come out next year, probably in the same month. This is what's going to happen, right? Turning Point 3. Remove a villainous dungeon, same morning. Add level 200 to level 250 mobs. Remove everything out of there. Just gut it. Nothing new. Map not edited. That's what's gonna fucking happen. You fucking watch. I bet you. And if that's not the idea, oh, well, probably just add new creatures on fucking Garden Arias, right? Where they're all like level 45s and nothing new. I mean, half the fucking quest drops there, you don't use them for anything other than leveling up your guild. There's no point to none of that. It's just fucking ridiculous that you guys are still housing this game. And the fact that you guys had to basically bend over for the remainder of your community and say, hey, look, we have a Discord, this is it. I'm banned on that Discord. Rightfully so for asking questions and for snooping around. And whatever. Piccolo wants to call himself a coder. I don't think, the way I got banned the last time I was on my first account, I was in-game. Piccolo was doing his Hell's Door event. He was invisible, and I walked over, well, flew over, and I said, hey, Piccolo, why don't you uninvis for a moment? I'd like to talk to you. That was basically it. That was literally it. Next day I was banned. I didn't say a word, didn't message anybody, didn't swear, didn't spam, nothing. Didn't break the rules. Idiot. By the way, if you, Piccolo, again, I'm going back to you. If you consider typing in codes on a fucking chat log and spawning creatures, coding, go back to fucking school. I've been developing maps with the FlyFF engine on my computer that is behind this camera for the last 2 years now. I've made fucking maps, dungeons that actually look like fucking dungeons instead of something like Mars Mine that's condensed in a fucking potato shape with some squiggly lines inside. That's all that is. Big fucking deal. I can fucking code an entire map in literally a week from just a basic fucking pencil sketch on like my paper or whatever. Like on the back of this, I could draw a whole fucking dungeon. Take some fucking influence from a game like Zelda or whatever, like something good and classy, like not a shit fucking game like yours that just relies on nostalgia at this point, which is what your games become. If you want it to be developed, look at a private fucking server of FlyFF. I've seen more anime-based designs for cosmetics, just like the basic CS, than I've ever seen shat out by Webzen. The new guild participation cape, that's just a fucking guild cape reuse. It's this cape design right here. That fucking thing. Big fucking deal. Look at the logo on the back. It's the same fucking design. And the newer cape, for, you know, being the top tier queer bait in Siege, which, by the way, I don't play Guild Siege. I hate Guild Siege. I've done it before. I've won many of them. Most toxic fucking community I've ever played with. It's just a recolor. If it's not a recolor, I think it does exist, because I've seen that before in the CS viewer. If you don't know what CS viewer is, it's a pretty popular program which you could, it reads the FlyFF files from your folder, and it will view all the models of everything in the game, like pickup pets, creatures, you name it. And I've actually relied on that tool sometimes whenever I've developed a couple creatures and pickup pets myself. I made a pickup pet of Navi from Ocarina of Time because it was one of my favorite games. And unfortunately, I was trying to put a text box on it too. I don't know how to do that just yet, but I'd like to learn how to give pickup pets text box. So I could just make it say, hey, listen, every single minute or so to annoy me. A good half of that, I actually donated. Cure for cancer. I actually used the money of the time that I spent in your game, $9,000 roughly, for a cancer cure. Well, to help kids with cancer. I sent like a good $5,000 of it to the kids, gaming kids that are in hospitals. It was some, I don't remember the cause of the group offhand, because it was like a year and a half, maybe. How long ago was that? Like 19 months ago? 20 months? That was a long time ago, though. The other $9,000, I still have it. I haven't really done anything with it. And I have all my old gears, and my account's still unbanned. I mean, I could farm another 15 trill in the next, I guess, couple of years. And with her help, hell, I could do it in half the time. Probably in another 5 years if the game's still around. Oh, wait, I'm never playing it again. And by never playing it again, it's just me scoping out what materials I could borrow to, you know, program my game, the better version. I've seen many private servers and their maps. Their maps are kind of impressive. Some of the shop maps, especially Insanity FlyFF, it's just a flat terrain. It's kind of depressing. And I think the Madrigal Marketplace is a piece of shit. I'm glad that's removed. I thought that was always the trashiest place ever. It's too small for anything. You can't lay out shops in that place. You could barely get away with loading about 50 shops in there without it crashing. Because you've made the area so small and the cell so small, and you've distanced it from the world, so many players crash going into it that it's almost impossible. The best scenario is to have shops available and openable anywhere. And I made an area branched off in the very south corner away from cities that is just an open field area that you can actually collect on as well. I did add mining and wood cutting as two separate skills though, but I've been playing WoW. A couple of dungeons I did made, they have platforming. And I have made linear dungeons. I've just done Dungeon Finder on World of Warcraft for the last 2-3 months, just learning from that game. I've been playing RuneScape. They just recently announced Elite Dungeons on their Twitch stream, and I looked at that and I thought it was impressive, because what they're doing is the exact thing I'm doing. It's the formula that WoW does. You see a door, player comes outdoor, they see a foreground, they see where they have to do, what they have to do with puzzles, any enemies in there, and then further back they can see more of the rooms in the distance. And that's the kind of environment I want to go for. Your idea of dungeons are, you come out of a cave, there's no door, it's just like an exit, like spawn graphic for an exit. That's like a teleport, I guess. And then it's just a cave with no camera. Or the cave itself is just like a straight, narrow path all the way up. It lacks diversity of anything. The closest thing to a dungeon was the towers that you guys have, which in my copy of FlyFF, my server map, I've removed all that. I removed Northern Flarine. I have converged all islands together into one single continent, and I've named it, and I'm not going to specify what it is. It's been in development for the last, what, 15, 16 months, off and on. I'd say I'd spend maybe a total of half a year to maybe 8 months total on it. In terms of time, I'm saying like, it's quite a while. Just for one person, it's not too bad. I've only developed like 6 enemies. I haven't gotten around to building that many enemies. I need to make at least 80. That's my goal point right there. And only 6 doesn't really help. I'm also trying to do it with the least amount of polygons used, so that way maps will render and load quicker, and I could throw more enemies on the field. AoEing will be more possible that way without lagging to shit every time you go to hit something. I've kept a Sal, and I've changed the classes. I've basically removed classes. I have a system that's called the attribute system. Basically, as you level up, you get points to go towards what weapons you want to be most effective with. So that way, like, say you want to be able to use magic and a sword at the same time, or, have a wand in one hand and a sword in the other, and still be able to do decent amount of damage with both and have skills for both. That's what I'm trying to aim for. I thought when I found out about the Guardian Knuckles being available, I was the first Guardian Knuckle, I was basically the first Sword Knuckle user in Lincoln, and that's how I wanted it to go. And everybody walked up to me occasionally and would be like, how the heck are you holding both a sword and a knuckle? And I'm like, well, I'm just awesome, man. I'm rich and awesome. Wolfang, a friend of mine, his name was Super Serum. He was falsely banned for 0 reason, just because, I don't actually know, to be quite honest. I think it's because he was a friend of mine, and I guess they just want to ban everybody that was associated to me, friend and all. They did that with BDX, and they've done that with Groose a little bit too, because I started trying to be friends with Groose. And they do threaten people through inboxes. They lie. There is an image that Groose gave me of another moderator for Webzen threatening him in the inbox system. They do it. And they're fucking liars. Magituk didn't quit. He got fired. He did. Now, 2 years, I'm hoping that, your game dies in the next year or so, because my projection is you sell off your gaming portal Webzen in the next 3-4 years. If that happens, holy shit, I'm throwing a fucking house party with the 9 grand that I have. I'll invite over my whole neighborhood. I will buy beer. I will buy frickin' lobster dinners. I will order like 20 large pizzas, wings. I'll put on every console in my room. I have tons of gaming consoles. I'll turn them all on, and I'll buy a couple of frickin' studio arcades, like arcade boxes, and throw them downstairs and plug them all in. I'll have a fucking ball. Just take it from me, when my version of the fucking FlyFF is done and up, which the ETA, I'm trying to push it out for 2-3 years now, the estimation is probably 2020, maybe 2022. 2022, does that, yeah, maybe I'll be able to get it done then, but again, it's a long process. It's, just me editing all the maps alone. I'm hoping to get into more contact with some of the private server staff, so that way I could, potentially learn from what they know. And I actually did manage to add skin color to FlyFF, to the actual game engine itself. It literally was just a texture res, and that's all I was able to do. So you're able to make yourself Shrek green in my version of FlyFF. So if you want to go around as a giant green man with knuckles and calling yourself Shrek BP Knuckle Master XXX, go right ahead. God, somebody's gonna take that name. Do you think somebody's gonna take that name? That's gonna be a popular name now that I mentioned it. Eventually, maybe, who knows. So, hopefully, Webzen, you shut down in the next 2-3 years. Hopefully sooner. Let me tell you, 9 years in business is not something to be proud of. Time does not help you. The improvement of your image does. Your community struggles with a PR move that poor. I hope you learn from it. Because that Discord group was the only thing that saved your company an extra year or so of the nostalgia of players that just don't want to leave the game. People like me that did eventually leave the game and say, fuck it, I'm going to build my own game. I did something very similar to the people that wanted to play WoW Vanilla. If you don't know about that, Installaris, I believe? It was just a server, just a private server of WoW that ran for some time, and it was about a month after I left Webzen and FlyFF that they shut down. They basically threatened to be sued by Blizzard, and Blizzard, you know, it was like 6 months later. It was about November 2017 that they said, fuck it, let's cater to those players. And they brought WoW Classic back. See, that's listening to your player base. That's something you guys don't know how to do, and that's why you're always going to be behind Sony in terms of a competitive market. I looked online, and apparently you guys are supposed to be the competitor for Sony over in Korea. You are failing miserably, steps behind. Take up agriculture in your area and, you know, try to get some of your stock back. And I hope you take into consideration all the private servers that are out there and making more money than you've basically had trying to rip on the players in your Discord right now, which you should be ashamed as an MMO host. And personally, you know, just dead as a company, just gone. Because you've brought great shame to every MMO host I've ever seen, period, of all time. And I've played many MMOs since I was in frickin' middle school, since I was a kid. I'm now 25, almost 26. Soon to be married. Okay, soon to be married. Show me your hand. See? Soon to be married. So, point is, improve your fucking game. Improve your relations with the community. Don't just say at a fucking conference like you did years ago during fucking FlyFF Gold time. You were saying to a group of people, oh, the Western community is going to love this. Bull fucking shit, Kim Young. Suck my nuts. And I hope Gala eventually turns around and actually takes their game to a different publisher. I really do. And Gala, if you find this video, leave Webzen. Find a new host. I don't care if you get bought up by Jagex. In fact, fuck, I'd prefer that. Then I would just stop making the game I'm making right now. And fuck, hire me. Hire me. I'll do the job. I'll improve FlyFF. I'll make Turning Point 3 Turning Point X. And get rid of all the shit they've done wrong. Bring back the shit everybody wants, like the old glow effects. Bring back the older cards. Make the CS shop more cheaper, more affordable, so that way the company would be able to profit the same pace. Not add stupid sets that aren't even competitive to other sets. Just small things that would just improve the quality of life of the game that they don't know how to fucking do as a publisher. They don't know what to ask of you because that's all you're doing. Your game could use a lot. I've played RuneScape and WoW, Menton, Maple Story, what else? I've played too much. EverQuest, I've played it all. I'm not entirely sure what to say. But Webzen, I do know that your company's not going to exist in a couple more years. Good luck. And, I hope you do fucking shut down. And Piccolo, you're a fucking failure. You're not a coder. You're just some bum they picked up off the street. And the fact that you banned me was the main reason why Lankin's economy has been screwed up for the last 2 years, and you're to blame for all of it. And so is Magituk, and don't sit there and say that I didn't help you. Because when I was on the FlyFF Lankin Facebook group, I revealed every person that was cheating to you, and the staff. And the only thing you did was sit there, suck your thumb, and say nothing. So much for a community manager, don't you think?